What is up, everybody? Jester here, and I know it's been a while since I've made any No Man's Sky content, but today's a little bit different because today Hello Games dropped Worlds Part 1, bringing the game to 5.0, a whole new version of the game. And I gotta be honest with you, graphically and everything, it looks great, but I wanted to check and see if there was any substance to it whatsoever. And because all I've been hearing on YouTube all day from not only the bigger YouTubers, but some of the smaller ones as well, is how epic this is just a major update, and it's, if you don't like it, you're stupid. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm going to be the voice of dissent here because I don't see a lot of substance to this, and sadly it's just the truth. As a matter of fact, I think it probably breaks more things than it adds to the game, and I'll justify my points, and I'm gonna be critical of this without being overly negative. So stick with me. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. It's all welcome here. I don't care if people disagree with me. That's totally fine. But I feel like they just are missing the mark as to what their players really want. And at least this player, I can speak for myself. But there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to come in and look at was the water, because this is a huge point of the update is going to be the water overhaul, and it does look fabulous. I got to give them that. Water is extremely hard to do in video games, and I think as a byproduct of this as well, they've done some work here on the actual swimming mechanic. Because now when you swim and you're pushing forward, you come down a little bit, you're not just going straight back to the surface. You're actually kind of on a plane, so you can kind of stay underwater and go pretty quick with your water jets. And that was always a pain in the butt for me, because you always just go up every time you pushed forward, and it looks like they've done some work on that, so kudos for that. The next thing that I was extremely interested to go look at was the world generation, see if anything got broken on existing bases. And so I went over to Smashball. This is one of my biggest builds, and I'm very proud of it. It's a game within the game, and sure enough, they have changed the environment completely now. So my existing save on an existing world that was something yesterday is no longer that thing. There's now bubbles everywhere in the middle of my screen, and it's absolutely annoying because I had to relocate this and rebuild it from a different place where they had broken the system there as well. And it's just infuriating that they do this with the builds. There's nothing that adds here with the bubbles. Now, I will say, though, that the water on this planet particularly, and even the greens in the grass, look amazing, but that is just graphically and aesthetically pleasing. It has nothing to do with gameplay, and I hate it when they do these kind of overhauls, because it always tends to break bases that I've spent a lot of time doing, and this is no different. The next thing that I was extremely interested in was the Broodmother fight. Now, to find these, for me, I went to my freighter, and I started jumping around to uncharted systems. And this is where you're going to most likely find these. It makes it a lot easier, especially if you've got the planetary probe. You'll just come out of hyperspace, you'll run to that room, you'll do the search, you'll be able to check all the planets at once to see if it's what you're looking for. And if it's not, you can just move on to the very next one. In this case, we were able to get over to our planetary probe, and we actually found one. And I'll show you here in just a moment what you're going to be looking for. It's actually going to be the Vile Brood detected. And you just got to scan around, you look at these planets until you see what you're looking for. And in this case, right here on the next one, we see Vile Brood detected. That means we're in the right place. So all we have to do is go down to this planet, and we should be able to find the Broodmother fight. After getting down to the planet, I found that what you want to do is you want to find one of those, which is basically the little grub, and you want to shoot it, and that's going to start the Broodmother fight. And to be honest with you, this really isn't much of a fight, especially if you got a pretty good multi-tool. There's a big health bar, but it goes down pretty quick, especially with my neutron cannon being as strong as it is. And we were able to get through this fight pretty quickly. But what I didn't anticipate was what was going to happen after the fight. But just notice here, I pretty much melt everything with this thing. Once you get the armor off of these Broodmothers, they do go down pretty quickly. I guess depending on your weapon of choice, for me, obviously it's the neutron cannon. But once we finally did defeat the Broodmother, I got a surprise, and that was there's a drop. This is a new unlockable helmet. I didn't know this was a thing. Over the course of the next 15 to 20 or so minutes, we got into multiple fights. And as we were doing this, we continued to unlock new helmet items. This is the Hunter's Jaws. I'm going to show you all these here in a little bit. But we got up to 4. And then I spent an hour and a half continuing to do these fights with 0 spawns, even though I had gone to an appearance modifier and I knew there was other things. So I can only be led to the conclusion that the other things are going to be basically for the expedition, and you're going to have to go to the expedition to get those unlocked. But we were able to get 4, and I'll go ahead and show you guys those now. So now that I'm completely convinced that the rest of the drops are going to actually be expedition reward updates, and that doesn't hit till tomorrow, let me show you what I did get from drops from these Broodmother fights. And that's 4 of the 5 new helmets. We'll go up here to head. We'll start off with the Brooding Skull. I'm really just not into the overall look. I'm sure someone's going to love that, but that's not going to be me. Chitin Mandibles, I can't even quite see yet because they're not unlocked. The Hunter's Jaws, again, kind of an insectoid look, and it's just not for me. I think some of the other stuff looks way better. The bioluminescent headpiece does look pretty cool, though, with kind of the protruding horns and mandibles, and they're glowing. Again, but still not something I'm going to wear. Same with the Broodmother's Maw. A cool looking helmet. It's organic armor, and that's kind of neat, but again, substance, guys. What does this actually do for you other than a visual aesthetic? Which is pretty much what most of this update is. It's just visual aesthetic. They haven't added anything to gameplay. And it really, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, but I'm telling you, I don't think there's nearly as much here as all these YouTubers are letting on, saying it's the best thing since sliced bread, and I just don't see it that way. With all of that being said, personally, and this is my opinion, you can agree or disagree with me, I feel like this actually does more harm than good for the game currently. Yes, the water looks fantastic. The new textures, when they render correctly, look pretty good. I have zero problem with that. This planet used to be kind of a brownish, orangish planet. Now it's green for some reason. But, you know, that it is what it is. The one thing that I showed you there was Smash Ball, and that's a build I'm extremely proud of, even though nobody really comes to visit. And now it's got bubbles everywhere. So I have to either relocate this, and even if I did that, I would just be prone to whenever they decide to do the next world update, and that breaks something else. So it just kind of feels like they're being counterproductive with people that want to build. And again, I just don't feel like there's a ton of substance here in this update. Things look great, but I don't care about being able to build a solar ship. I don't care about a new emote. The Exocraft is intriguing, but not that important because I never use them. The new armor, it's cool, but again, it's not going to look better than what the Blazing Orbit helmet I've got on. And this has been my look for a long time, and I don't feel like changing it for something that I don't think looks better. But you guys let me know in the comments if you think they missed the mark with this update, because I feel like they just left a lot on the table that they probably, maybe they'll put in the next update, Worlds Part 2, and maybe even a Worlds Part 3. Hopefully there's more substance to it. But as far as this update goes, guys, you know, you can listen to everybody else, and that's fine. But I just don't see it as everybody else does. And I really feel like this is not the update that's going to bring me back into the daily fold playing No Man's Sky. What I really feel like this is integration testing for Light No Fire. And they have every right to do so. I've even said that in other videos. But stop window dressing it as something brand new for No Man's Sky, because it's really just them testing how to implement for Light No Fire. If anybody doesn't see that, then I don't know what you're looking at. But that's what they're doing. And they're calling it new content. So just be ready for that when it comes down the road. This is basically slowly turning into Light No Fire. They're making sure that my game is going to run correctly, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's just my feelings on it. Let me know in the comments what you think. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.